By all means, do.
I'm pretty sure that was made by one of the Allens, was it not?
It could have been.
Probably
I would
was.
imagine so. They have the most knowledge in the situation.
Yeah. So going back to Marcus Allen, 2015 season, 81 total tackles, 5 for a loss, 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles. 2016, he had 110 total tackles, 6 for a loss, 0 sacks, 1 forced fumble. And our Not a Clue podcast guys are over there laughing about the meme.
I thought that's at least someone would appreciate that.
So watching film on him, I got to see firsthand how dynamic he really is in a way that in a fashion where I'm not watching the game, invested in everything going on. So here are the good things about him. He's a tackling machine. That's all he knows is tackling, it seems.
Yeah, 110 tackles last year. 6 for loss,
Yeah.
1 forced fumble. I mean, not eye-popping numbers, but 110 tackles sure as hell is.
Yeah, he's very hard hitter. Absolutely crazy how hard he hits. And he's very intelligent. And he just always seems to be around the ball. Always. Always seems to be around the ball. And I think the best feature of all is he's great at blocking field goals against Ohio State.
That's true.
Yep. The bad things about him, 3 seasons, 0 interceptions.
He's not going to be that guy. He's more of a
really
tackling
a ball hawk,
safety.
yeah.
He's got bad hands. Bad
That's why he's
hands.
on defense.
Yeah, bad hands.
That being said, he can still get up and disrupt plays because he's going to put a body on you.
Yeah,
He'll put his shoulder.
His coverage is shaky. Covering the ball, not very good. Covering players, yeah, he likes to hit. Yeah.
And he is a nice run stopper that you can creep up and use in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely. A great tackler. That's what he's going. If he makes it to the NFL, which I'm guessing he will, that's what he's going to be. He's going to be the safety that creeps up, and he's going to be a run stopper. They might ask him to put on some weight and play linebacker.
Yeah, I could see that possibility, especially with his tackling versus his interception ability. He could probably easily follow into there as long as he puts on the weight needed.
Yeah,
I could see him doing that easily.
Anything more about good old Marcus Allen?
No.
All right, now we're going to move on to a player that I'm just absolutely, completely baffled by. His name is Alex Hornibrook. He's quarterback for
Real
Wisconsin.
Name, not made up.
Yep, real name, H-O-R.
Doesn't sound
Listen, there was a quarterback for, it was either Minnesota or Iowa. His name was Beathard. Beathhard. His last name was Beathard.
That's funny.
So, it's...
Okay, Hornibrook.
Yep, Alex Hornibrook, quarterback. Listen to these stats. 2015, no stats, didn't play. 2016, 1,262 yards, 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Completed 59% of his
59%.
passes. Sacked 13 times.
Oof.
Rushing, no stats in 2015. Negative 81 yards in 2016 on 23 runs.
Oh.
Now wait for his record last year. What was his record? What was Wisconsin's record last year?
I believe they were 11-2.
11-2.
Played in the Big Ten championship game. Beat LSU. Was an overtime away from beating Ohio State. Was very close to beating Michigan. All right.
He's an anomaly. He's a player I expect. Do not be surprised by him making a very large jump in production numbers this year. And the one thing I can say about him is he knows how to manage a game.
Yeah, so we'll get into that. I have good on here. Game manager. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket presence. Very good in the pocket, except when he throws the ball. His drop back is almost perfect. It is a thing of beauty. He looks like a horse galloping, ever so elegantly. He's got decent arm strength. He's got some zip on the ball. when he's good, he's really good. When he's good, he's accurate. When he's not, he's bad. He throws way too many interceptions. He makes some really bad decisions. Like, he thinks he can make NFL throws. He can barely make high school throws. And talking about what Geno Smith did with Evan Ingram leading the receiver, that's all he does. He overthrows the receivers and gets it to where he wants them to be and not where they're going to be.
Right.
So that's a big problem with him. Now, the one thing that I will point out is there is no quarterback competition this year. Bart Houston is a Steeler. He's not in Wisconsin uniform anymore. So you don't have that who's going to be playing this week kind of feel. So that's Alex Hornibrook. Aside from a funny name, there's not anything spectacular about him.
Yeah, I mean, they rely more on their running game anyway, but definitely could make or break the season.
More breaking news. John Bones Jones failed drug test at UFC 2014. Not yet formally stripped of title.
Ooh. Wow.
Wow.
He's been mired in repeat controversies now.
And here it is again. Two more reports. First was ESPN, now Bleacher Report and CBS.
I'm not overwhelmingly shocked.
No, not at all. You guys ready to move on from Alex Hornibrook?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
fine.
Okay. We're going to move on to another quarterback in the Big Ten, Wilton Speight. Wilton Speight, quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines. In 2015, he had 73 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. In 2016, 2,538 yards, 18 touchdowns, 7 interception. Still not very good numbers.
20 sacks.
Well, I mean,
He was sacked a lot. Look
In
at
all
the numbers
fairness-
between him and O'Korn. They were sacked a ton.
in all fairness, he got sacked a lot when he was injured. He played against Iowa and against Ohio State injured.
Yeah, wow.
So that's
Their
gutsy.
Their line also struggled. I wouldn't say consistently last year, but there were times where they looked like they were lost.
Not against Penn State, they didn't.
That's true. He's
But
got to fight off Brandon Peters, Speight, and
he's been named the starter.
Yeah,
but that could change if his play, doesn't keep.
I mean, obviously
keep
Harbaugh
it.
likes him. I
No,
mean,
he
we'll
does.
see what's going to be produced. I mean, Speight is going to have to step up. It's his responsibility. They lost a ton of talent last year.
They lost my favorite named player, Jake Butt.
Oh yeah, that's a great name.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to rely on somebody, and we're gonna find out who Spates is if
The
he's
Jets are drafting.
ready to go or if he's
So many butt fumble jokes though.
Hackenberg. Yeah, that would have set you up for
So
it.
many
So
butt
many
fumble
butt fumble
jokes.
jokes. If he ever fumbled, it would just be torturous.
And there's a butt fumble.
Yeah.
Oh, and he just Sanchez himself.
But it still would have been half, but it still would have been glorious.
I mean, there was someone on his team who had a better name. And he's a Cowboy now. Taco Charlton.
Oh, right.
Yeah, having a first name Taco is pretty great.
Why couldn't it? Why they should just combine
Taco
names
Butt?
and be Taco Butt, which is a real thing. You eat too many. You eat too many spicy tacos.
No
you
such
have some
thing as
taco
too many
butt.
tacos.
Yeah.
Taco Charlton, before he even stepped foot in Dallas, had a sponsorship offer from a taco chain.
I would totally do it if I was him.
Right?
I love
Free
tacos.
tacos for life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
I actually know
You
a
could be that
girl
guy's
named.
friend.
I know a girl named Taco, so that's kind of fun.
if you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Taco made that famous in the 80s.
I know like a person personally that's named Taco. No.
Yeah, the name of the guy who did that song. I mean, obviously it wasn't the original.
Right.
He popularized it more.
And not the same person. I'm sure he doesn't know the person that
I think it's the same
put on
person.
the Ritz. Oh.
No. Anyways, Wilton Speight. The good about the Speight is that he's poised. He's got a good drop back. He steps into his throws really well, and he's mobile enough. The bad, He throws too hard. Like, I don't know if you've watched him. He looks like he's trying to force the ball in between defenders on a little halfback screen when he's wide open. Like, it's crazy how hard this kid wants to throw. His play fake selling ability is terrible. Like, it's not even...
That's always the worst.
It's awful. It is awful.
It's like, oh, look, they're running a play action. Guess it's going to be a sack.
He's got this, like, awkward release. Like his elbow comes forward and throws. It's, like, really weird.
They got to work on that.
Yeah.
Bad mechanics.
That also makes it a slow release.
Yep.
And he takes a while to read through his progressions. Hence him getting sacked a lot.
Yeah.
Other than that,
he's got a lot to work on, and they have a pretty tough schedule.
I have nothing good
against
to say
Penn
about
State
him,
and
so we can move on
Wisconsin,
whenever.
home against Ohio State, who's probably, top contender.
they had a tough schedule before you realize they lost 17 of their 22 starters.
Yeah. Yeah, who's even left on, like, their defense?
Like, nobody.
No one.
They lost Jordan Lewis. They lost Taco Charlton. They lost Jabril Peppers.
Yeah,
So
well, obviously.
that's not good for them. All right, let's move on. This next guy is probably the most underrated running back in college football. Justin Jackson, running back from Northwestern. Listen to these numbers. They are insane. 2014, 1,187 yards, 10 touchdowns as a freshman. 2015, 1,418 yards, 5 touchdowns. And 2016, 1,524 yards, 15 touchdowns. He's averaging over 100 yards a game. With 15 touchdowns. That's just rushing. Receiving, not anything great. 2014, he added on 201 yards with a touchdown. 2015 was 162 more yards. And 2016 was 219 more yards. So he got up to 1,750 all-purpose yards in 2016 . And yet, no one knows who he is.
They
He's
will.
a
this
heck of a
season.
runner. Yeah, no, he's.
I don't think they will.
I don't think he'll get the recognition he deserves from.
Because of Saquon Barkley. Because Saquon Barkley's in his conference.
Well, I think from everybody. I also think it's part being from Northwestern. He'll get the attention of the scouts.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he will.
He's gonna get it without a doubt. I mean, he's the reason I have Northwestern as high as I do.
Where do
in
you
the
have
breakdown.
them?
I have them finishing second in the West.
That's where I have them as well.
You know
and-
what? Me too.
Yeah,
Because
and
they
it's
got
because of this
four-
kid.
Well, that and they've got 4 starters from their O-line coming back.
And
Yeah,
their defense,
That was a
their,
good O-line.
Well,
Their
I mean, you
defense
keep
is
that
a
O-line
bend, but-
with that back. They can run and control clock on a bunch of teams.
their
all
defense is
season
a bend but don't break. They give up on a bunch of field goals.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so-
that's beautiful.
They
in
give up a
college
bunch of
football.
field goals and score touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
He's going to be one to watch, though. He is definitely entertaining. Most people I know aren't going to care about watching a Northwestern game. Highly recommend it.
Not a Clue podcast. They think that he should be a Heisman contender.
That's
His numbers say yes,
yeah,
but it's
his competition level says no.
Given the fact that he goes to Northwestern, I think it will be hard for him to do that. But I think he has the
He
talent
might get recognition. I
and
don't
the
think he's
ability
gonna get
to get into the
it.
conversation.
Yeah,
he won't be one of the final 5. He's probably not even going to crack the top 10. Not with the
there's an argument for
I-
the
I
top
could
10.
see him
I
as a
could- I could
finalist.
see him top 10.
I could see him in the top 10 in
making top
conversation
10,
for finalists.
but
Oh.
I don't think he's gonna get.
I mean,
past-
let's
I don't think
just
he's
say
gonna get finalists.
hypothetically.
I think he's gonna get.
Let's
I think he's
say-
gonna crack 10, and that's.
Let's say he puts up the same yardage he does this year and
the
scores
limit.
20 touchdowns.
I can name 5 quarterbacks and 5 running backs that would still be ahead of him.
Oh, I don't know.
The running backs, you'd have Saquon Barkley, Bo Scarborough, Darius Geis. You're going to have Rashad Penny from San Diego State, who is like Donnell Pumphrey 2.0.
Yeah, but if the guy from Northwestern isn't getting acknowledged in Heisman contender, given the talent he's playing, San Diego State's running back isn't going to get.
Yes, he
recognition.
will, because he's going to be following up the guy who has the career record for rushing yards.
I don't care.
He
That
will.
means nothing to me in Heisman consideration. Nothing
He's gonna,
whatsoever.
if he's gonna crack 10, he's gonna have to go above and beyond these other running backs just because he's playing for Northwestern.
Oh, true. No, he's going to have to do more. It's just going to be that, and there's not. I see your argument. Because of the way that I think Northwestern finishes, he doesn't make it into the conversation for Heisman contenders.